a running coach and I still have issues with my self-confidence. Don't get me wrong, I'm getting better at it, but there are a lot of times that you can really get in your head when it comes to running, especially when it comes to comparing yourself to everybody else. Hey, I'm Coach Lisa from the Running University, and if you're new here to my channel, I'm here to help you put the fun in your run and to help you celebrate finish lines you never thought possible. And if you're back watching another one of my videos, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Running is really one of those sports that it's so easy to compare yourself to other people. You can compare your paces, you compare how long everybody else is going. It can be really hard on your mind, and it can really make you feel like shit. And honestly, that's really hard to deal with, especially when you're in the middle of maybe a run or a race and you just start going down the rabbit hole. Honestly, this is one of the reasons that you're not going to find me on Strava. I am on Garmin, but I keep that secret, and it's only available to my True Tribe team to see, because I've listened to people or watched people on Strava say things like, oh, the reason I was slower this time is because I was with so-and-so. Or I've actually seen people stop their watches when they take walk breaks, so it's only tracking their running. And hey, to each his own. I always say everybody's writing their own running story, so I'm not judging. But for me, Strava was one of those things that by comparing myself to other people was just driving me crazy. So I just chose not to care. I'm not going to be on Strava because I just don't need that extra pressure. So the great thing is that I continue my running journey and I keep learning more and more. So I'm going to share some of my tips about how you can really work on stop comparing yourself to other. I'm sure you've heard the quote that comparison is the thief of joy, and it is. Think about it. When you compare yourself to other people, it doesn't really serve any purpose whatsoever. And you really don't know what everybody else is going through, right? Like, I've been in races and I've talked to people. I've been in a race where somebody maybe did a marathon the day before because whatever their crazy training plan is. I've been in races where you have people that, maybe they were sick yesterday and they're going to be a little slower than normal. There are so many reasons that can affect what's going on in your run, and it really doesn't matter what's happening to everybody else. So here are some of the steps that work for me that hopefully will help you out too. Number one, first of all, is really just becoming self-aware of when you're going down the rabbit hole, right? I mean, if I'm in the middle of a race, as a matter of fact, here's this video that I put in my YouTube a while ago, and I just listened to it, and it still works. It's still, when I re-listened to it, it reminded me of that exact situation that happened. And, here I am today still talking about it. But so go listen to that. But self-awareness is basically just being aware that now you started going down the rabbit hole. And for me to improve my self-awareness, I recommend meditating. That could be a whole other video. But the more you meditate, the more you become self-aware of your thoughts and negative thoughts that come your way. So as soon as I become self-aware of it, the first thing I really do is I sit with it. Not for too long, right? So I'm going to sit with those feelings for a little bit. I'm going to just kind of pay attention and observe what feelings I'm having, and just to sit in them again, but not for too long. So that's the first thing I do, is I recognize it and I sit in it, maybe take a couple of deep breaths to slow everything down mentally. Number two, the next thing that I do is I think about my favorite running mantra. Okay, I am writing my own running story. And I think about whoever I might be comparing myself to that either just sped by me or whatever the case is, and they're writing their own running story too, right? I don't know what their story is. Doesn't matter. I'm just focusing on myself. One thing that really struck me when I was going through my meditation practice, one of the first meditations that I learned really came from Deepak Chopra, and it was this whole idea of feeling inferior to other people, which when you're comparing yourself, it's not often that you're going, wow, I'm faster than everybody else. You're usually in a bad place because other people are faster than you or going longer than you, right? But it was something I go back to every time, because when I think about comparing myself to other people, if I am thinking that I'm inferior to people, it must mean that I'm also feeling superior to other people. And that really didn't sit well with me. Like, oh, I don't want to feel superior to people. So that's one of the things that I always go back to. It's always a constant in my head to just think about those words. Like, I don't want to feel superior to anybody. And again, I'm writing my own running story. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. really, those couple of steps work for me. But here's the deal, right? We have these neurological pathways that we have created because of our life experiences over time. And if you are somebody who finds yourself going down the rabbit hole and comparing yourself to other people quite a bit, that's a pattern that you've built over time, and it's not going to go away if you just follow these steps one time. So, what I would recommend that you do is you just have to keep practicing. So, anytime you're out there, whether you're in a training run or you're with a group of people, or you just realize that you start going into your head about comparing yourself to other people, follow those steps. And I hope that'll help you. Drop some notes in the comments if you have other suggestions about what you do so that you don't compare yourself to other people, so we can learn together. And by the way, hey, these are the types of things that we talk about in my True Tribe running community. We'd love to have you join us. We're a group of women. We train together, we learn together, and we grow together. And we'd love to have you join us. If you want to check us out for free, go down in the description and you'll find a link where you can leave your information. And I raffle off a 3-month subscription into the True Tribe for 3 months. So check it out.